Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hey everybody, welcome to another great edition of Freed on Business. This is episode 833. We're going to talk about how to network at the ICSC Orlando conference. This actually translates to any networking event you go to. People always ask me, Jim, how do you what advice do you have for me when I want to go network? So here we go. I want to welcome everybody to the show. I want to remind everybody we're streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. Look for us at Freed on Business and at Jim Freed. And like I said, we're going to talk about how we're going to network at the ICSC conference, which has its own unique opportunities and flow. And then I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. Warren Henry, Larry, Eric, Ismet, the rest of the team over there. Warren, of course, they help my family, my clients all have the best automobile experience possible. So I want to thank them for sponsoring the show for now on 15 years. And now here we go with how to network at the ICSC Real Estate Conference. The conference has its own unique flow. They have a conference welcome party on Sunday night. So I usually like to go, it's in Orlando, so I like to drive up there and be there for the party on Sunday night. Usually I'll leave here around 9, 10 o'clock, get up there around 12, 1 o'clock, get in my room, maybe go to the pool, get a little workout in, and then head on over to the cocktail hour. I arrive early at the cocktail hour, usually the first one there, and I network with the attendees prior to the gathering. I interact briefly with people, even if I haven't seen them for a long, long time. I don't spend more than 2 or 3 minutes with anybody making small talk, and I make sure I don't consume any alcohol. There's no reason, if I'm only going to see somebody once in a while, to project that I'm having any alcohol, which also clouds your ability to communicate correctly. I attempt to arrange a dinner meeting if possible for after the welcome event, but even if I don't arrange the perfect dinner, I'm still remaining positive, because the most important thing is to project positivity. The next day at the conference, I make sure that I'm the first person there, and usually don't want to leave until I'm one of the last people. It's a 2-day conference, so I'm also there first person on Tuesday. And then the conference breaks up around lunchtime, and I'm usually one of the last people to leave the conference as well. It's stamina. There's so many people you want to see. I actually make a full slate of meetings, but I also make sure that I have time between the meetings to randomly meet people, because it's those random collisions that are sometimes the most valuable. I dress appropriately. Boy, has that evolved from suit and tie to now, I guess, a casual coat with open collar, no tie. Of course, I want to wear my most comfortable shoes. People used to make fun of me about wearing sneakers. Now they all wear sneakers. It's really some of the most simple things. Of course, this also is important for the happy hour event before the conference. I always keep my glass of water in my left hand, because that's going to get cold and wet. If I'm going to shake hands with somebody, I want to make sure I give them my right hand, which should be, warm and dry. When I meet them, I want to put my name tag right into them. Although now these days they have the name tags here in the middle. I usually shake with my hand, put the name tag on the right-hand side so that they're seeing the name tag. I look them right in the eye, because the most important person, even though there's thousands of people there and thousands of people walking by and your cell phone's going off and you're getting all these important e-blasts and everything else, the most important person is the person that's right there that you're meeting with. I can't even make it any more important. Eye contact, be direct, be polite. The people are also distracted. There's people walking by, people saying hello to you, people saying hello to everybody else. Oh my God, there's the person I want to meet, but you have to stay focused. If you do have to break away while you're talking with the person, you apologize and you get right back to it. If you're approached by somebody you don't know who's interested in business, spend no more than 5 minutes with them. No more than 5 minutes. With everybody, you always want to inquire about what they're working on, how's their family, and really be invested in what they say, because that's the most important thing. How's your family? What are you working on? Because what they're working on when they go through it may afford you the window of opportunity that you want, and you're going there for the one. You don't know who the one person is or the one thing is, but by the end, you should know who that one person or one thing is. Now, in the past, I brought a lot of business cards, usually 2 of those big 1-inch binder clips. That becomes less important in today's world where you have the remote networking. But you want to, if you get and give a business card, you want to make sure you write on the back of the business card who it is, what they meant, why you took their business card, what you can do with them, how you want to follow up with them. Make sure you're looking at them and taking those notes. If you don't have a business card from them, I usually write it down electronically in my notes section along with their name. I ask for permission to do that, by the way. Everybody's willing to give you permission. When you're doing your 1-minute talk, when you're interfacing with them and you've asked what they work on, make sure you give your value proposition in less than 15 seconds. And make sure that it's customized to what they're working on. I do a lot of capital markets work. I've got some lenders that will work in the retail universe. They won't be at this conference, so that's one thing I can talk about. I do a lot of multifamily work, so I can talk about the mixed-use projects that I remember being the first person to pitch on. And of course, I've got my EV charger thing, which virtually every shopping center owner should at least evaluate their center to see if it's something we want to be on. I always have a clear reason to follow up with them. My close when I leave with them is great to meet you, whatever their name is. I'm looking forward to catching up. I'll be following up with, and then I talk about what I wrote down on the business card to make sure that I'm accurate with what I'm following up on. And then I thank them for their time, and I look forward to reconnecting with them and seeing them at the event next year. I always want to make sure I have a clear reason to follow up. And I want to make sure that when I do follow up and send them the "Hey, great to meet you" email, or I link in with them, that I specifically reference what we discussed at the meeting about what they're working on. You have to prioritize being a professional, and you have to maintain your trust-building behaviors, project confidence. And if you make a mistake, just approach it and understand that you made the mistake and forgive yourself immediately and move on. Always project that positive energy. When people share their personal story with you, empathize with that. Empathize. At the ICSC in particular, I have many wonderful friends of mine that have helped me through some of my most difficult times. The first time I went to the ICSC was 1985. It was in it was at the Hyatt in their original place. They had one meeting partition. Maybe there were a couple hundred people there. There'll be 5,000 people. It sells out hotels around the entire convention center. Nobody can get a hotel room. The thing will be a zoo. So that makes it even more important than when you're talking to somebody that they realize they're the most important person. When you discuss your products or services, highlight what distinguishes you from other people and how you can add value. Remember, do not use your phone when you're talking with somebody. Not even to say, "I'll call you back." Just let it go, because you work a whole lot to get these small moments that you're going to have with the person. And the moment is only going to last for 2 or 3 minutes. So you want it to be focused on the person you're with, and you want it to be true and natural, and you want to be fully engaged with that person. If you have associates that are with you or friends that are with you, introduce them and allow them to engage independently. One of the most important things you can do, I always tell people, they go, "How can I work that conference?" I go, "You stand right next to me and you wait to say, when I introduce you, you say hello and you jump in. I'm doing it for a reason. It's to help them." Very important, manage your food and drink intake. Balance your focus and energy throughout the event. Stay hydrated. Don't drink. They all have these free coffees. They all give away candy. Don't have too much candy. Don't have too much coffee. Believe me, I made the mistake 100 times. It's the most important thing. Don't be over energized. That's me saying don't be over energized. After the event, review your notes. During the event, review your notes. Know who you're talking to, know who you missed, know who you want to make sure you see. And remember, I can't overemphasize that the most important individual at the conference is the individual you're speaking to at that moment. You spent money to go to the event. You spent money to travel, to register, to have the hotel room. That's an investment, and the return on investment is the FaceTime you have with somebody. Yeah, Zoom calls are great, and not everybody you want to see is going to be there, but the people that you want to be there are going to be there, and you need to make them the most important person you are. Then they have satellite parties thereafter. Pick the satellite party. Make sure it's focused on your event. Usually, I go on what you're trying to accomplish. Usually, I go to one of the law firm parties, one of the bank parties, but I always go to the University of Florida Center for Real Estate Studies party because that's my home turf. That's where I feel the best. That's where I get energized, and that's where a high density of my friends are. Now we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with the last word, the number one takeaway. Miami Podcast Studios, your turn to shine. Yeah, really what we're talking about is a networking strategy, and that's really about making somebody feel like they're part of your family, and that's what Warren Henry's all about. I'm going to thank Warren Henry for making myself, the show, part of their family for 15 plus years now. I want to thank Larry Zinn, Eric Day, Warren Zinn, Ismet Yagzi, all of our friends over at Warren Henry who make me, my mom, my wife, all my clients, we all feel like family at Warren Henry Automotive, and you will too if you go there. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, they've got a store that sells all the great nameplates. Down in South Dade, they've got their award-winning Land Rover Range Rover store. Same thing in West Broward. Their flagship store is at Biscayne 151st Street. It's gorgeous. They've now got their Lincoln showroom there open. They're doing Lincoln service there. You've got Land Rover, Range Rover, Jaguar, Lincoln, all right there at 151st and Biscayne. It's just tremendous. And what makes them different is that they care. You're the only person to them when you're there. They make you feel like family. They've got a great service, list of services that they provide. My favorite is that they'll give you a service loaner. So I always schedule my service on Saturday. I pick up my loaner. I go see my mom. Then I bring the car back. It really makes for a nice day. And of course, I'll admit it, I drink lots of their free coffee that they have. They have the best coffee there. So remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Now it's time for the last word, the big takeaway. We've been talking about networking at the ICSC event in Orlando. You can apply this to pretty much any networking event you go to. The most important thing is to always be authentic and look the person right in the eye. Ask them about themselves, listen carefully, and then respond based on what they've told you. Leave the positive impression. You're only going to have a few minutes to meet, and you may only meet somebody once over years. That first impression will last. It's extraordinarily important. Make sure they understand that you care about them. You heard what I said about Warren Henry. They make you feel part of the family. Very important. Present yourself professionally. No phone calls. No dinging danging. No, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Focus on the person that you're there with. That impression is the most important thing you can do. Yeah, take the notes, know why you're following up. But the most important thing you can do is provide them with a good first impression. First impressions last a lifetime. And now I'm going to remind everybody, contact me, reach out to me. I can help. I help families across the globe, actually, execute in real estate and private equity, debt, equity, investment, sales, business building, business plan creation. I've done it all. I get people to pick up the phone because I project that kind of energy and have a lifetime of relationships that people can use. Remember, if you missed something on today's episode, you can check out the replay on any one of my social feeds, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, or Instagram, at Jim Fried, at Fried on Business. Head on over to the at Jim Fried YouTube page, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you listen to your audio, you're going to find us. Listen to this. I hope you found it useful. We got past episodes that are all kinds of great techniques about how to network and build your business. And remember, and boy, is this important for today's show, and know this when you go to these events, and believe in it. The person who wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. Miami Podcast Studios, do your magic.